Welcome to today's Confessions of a Global Changemaker. I'm delighted to bring you a very dear friend of mine. We've known each other for many years. We've been in all kinds of networks and keep seeing each other. And I've been watching this amazing entrepreneur grow his business and flourish, reaching thousands of parents and children all over the world now, I'm sure. And I can't wait to dig in to what our amazing Kieran Fletcher is up to. Kieran, welcome to the show.
Hi, Sally. Thanks for having me. Hope you're well.
Very good, very good. Now then, Kieran, you've been on quite a journey with your business, and you originally, looking at your bio, you weren't even thinking of anything else other than going into a sporting career until you had this accident. So tell us about how that came to be and what happened.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for the introduction, and I hope everybody can understand my language.
I love it. It makes me really homesick.
Yeah, so pretty much I always wanted to be a pro footballer, a professional footballer, and I attended primary school, and I was gifted and talented at football. Just wanted to play football so much. I don't know if you've ever wanted something so bad you can feel it in your heart, deep down, burning. So I used to get let out of class a lot. So my teacher used to let me out of class, set up the equipment, the goals, and because I used to get distracted in class. And I then got talent spotted for my local town team in Lancashire and then England, and then got scouted for Burnley FC, which are in the Premier League now, which are doing really well. And it was the week before my trial for Burnley FC. I had an horrific car crash that turned the course of my life around. And after that crash, I mean, it was a sad time in my life. I mean, somebody sadly lost their life that night. And it was a complete accident, being new to driving. And pretty much after that, I turned to learning and learning something new every day. And I wanted to give something back and make a difference after the life I took away. So I went on to university, did my degree in high performance coaching and child development. I passed out of university. I read lots of books, love learning. I got offered a job then at Bolton Wanderers after juggling 5 or 6 part-time jobs. One was a birthday entertainer, so I were entertaining kids every weekend, come rain, hail.
You've been doing this all along, really.
Sorry, what was that, Sally?
So you've been doing this all along, really.
It's strange, yes. I've been emptying bins, I've been pouring milkshakes, I've been mopping up sick. I've been basically down on the ground working with kids and making a difference where it matters. And then I got offered a job at Bolton Wanderers with the reserve team, but I fell out of love with football, to be honest with you, because my dad pushed me into football. And you know, as it was a sport, football discipline. And I woke up one night with a light bulb moment to set up what is known today as Funder. What used to be called fundamental coaching.
I wonder where the name Funder came from.
Yeah, it used to be fundamental coaching. So it's all about developing children's fundamental movement skills. And I was ringing schools saying like, hi, it's Kieran from Fundamental Coaching. And they used to be like, what? Mental? So it was always the plan. We had strict brand guidelines to pretty much dive into Funder, like Coca-Cola and Coke. We were Fundamental Coaching and Funder. So Funder's the name of our child-friendly character.
Love it. He's so adorable as well.
He's like a sugar puff monster, the old-fashioned sugar puff monster. So
just want to give him a raffle.
Yeah, we use him, and I'll tell you what, I'll just show you. I've got him here as well, just to have a bit of fun.
Brilliant. Oh, Kieran, I think you should deliver it like that for the rest of the interview.
But it's just all about fun, isn't it? We've got to have fun. That's Funder. So Funder's got lots of friends, and we've now got lots of storybooks. We're award winning. We're Ofsted registered. Yeah. We partner 100 schools here in the north, and we're delivering our resources worldwide to schools in Australia, Africa, and everywhere else.
That's amazing. And Kieran, when I was with you a few weeks ago, because guys and girls, I was speaking at an event in Brighton, England, and Kieran was one of the attendees, and we hadn't connected for ages, and we ended up sitting next to each other for lunch one day. And he gets out all these amazing books and all the things he's been publishing, and it's like, wow. Have you got any of them that you could show us on screen now?
Yeah, sure. I'll I'll share with you Funder's trip to the zoo.
Brilliant. And they look so good. They're so professionally done.
There they are. And they have lots of characters, and they all like the skills, so they can see the skills in orange.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're all like kick and shake and bend and jump. And then the stories are nicely illustrated. They rhyme as well.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And then all the movement skills there are verbs and the doing words. So hopping, jumping, skipping, and they're all the fundamental movement skills.
Amazing.
And then we have resources in the back that are online for parents to continue their learning at home and continue the magical story-based journey.
I love it. And Kieran, what you've done is you've taken something that other people are delivering in quite a boring way, and you've turned it into a fun, fundamental way of getting kids to move. I mean, it's brilliant.
Yes, exactly that. We've got like our dices here. So we have our dices. So the children roll our dices and it gets them to move. It's got all the characters on, so they can do that at home. So we've got all these resources.
Yeah.
And I've got loads of struggles now as a business person, obviously with COVID-19.
Right.
And I'm happy to help. I just want to help people, Sally, like yourself.
Yeah.
You said, Kieran, you said when you said I'm a change maker, you told me about your little drop that I've given me, your ocean drop.
Yeah.
That I give me partner. She loved it, by the way. And ever since, I seem to be protected anyway. This COVID's not even getting to me. Because I'm positive.
Has that effect.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm happy to help and give whatever I can on this call, really.
That's amazing, Kieran. Well, I mean, you have something that nobody else has brought to the table so far. So I think it would be really good to dig in to how you have productized your business, because obviously you could have just created an app, you could have just created videos and delivered them so that people could be doing the learning stuff from home. But you've also productized. And when you productize, what that does is it makes a business really tangible. It enables people to physically touch something. And there's something about physically touching something, like your dice, your big dice, the coloring books, all the storybooks, all the things that you've developed, all the materials. So talk us through, like, how easy or how challenging was it to say, right, I'm going to turn what I know into a book? Could you share for our audience, for our viewers who might be thinking, actually, I've been thinking about creating a book, or I've been thinking about creating product. What would you say are those first steps for them watching this now?
I think it's the old cynic approach first of strategizing your why you're doing it first and foremost. Your real why. What's your big heart behind it? What's the reason why you're creating them products and resources? And then pretty much the how can come and the what afterwards with the cynic, the Simon Sinek stuff. I started with that, and pretty much I always followed yourself, and I followed other influencers in the space that used online products and digitalizing the products. And I thought, well, I can only make a difference to one child going one-to-one to schools. Yeah. How can I make it and empower millions of children so that they can get their hands on this tangible stuff worldwide? So the struggles was really getting that message across using our characters, and that's where I then come up with Funder Story. And pretty much the struggles from that was we was in all these schools. It was then I had the product created. So the struggles I had was, because I'm dyslexic as well, was getting the actual, as you'll probably discover on this call, I beat around the bush, and then I finally come back to the actual golden nugget. And
so you're just keeping us on the edge of our seats, that's all.
Yeah, no, it's just something I do. I talk around the bush, but basically, I got the idea there of the why, and then pretty much discovered and learned of how to do it from people who's already done it.
Yeah.
So I learned about how to. So pretty much from start, I got the illustrations done. I met a lady on Odesk, which is the freelance. I think it's called Upwork now.
Yeah, I believe it is called Upwork. So you can get your illustrations at Upwork.
Yeah.
So brilliant. So you literally just put projects up on Upwork and interviewed some designers, and then took a designer. And I'm guessing that you have a really good relationship with that person, and that you've been able to keep consistency across everything now.
Yeah, so I had the character originally designed when I started the idea, so started the business. I had Thunder. He didn't look like this then. He looked really not clean cut at all. I still think he needs improving. He needs an haircut and stuff. But pretty much then I give the initial idea to this lady, and I then got the stories actually written as well, because I'm not the best at spelling. I struggled at school. So I actually outsourced the stories to be written as well, so that I could then focus on other areas of my business at that time, because I was juggling lots of hats.
Yeah.
So I delegated the storybooks to be illustrated from a lady in New York who's fantastic. Still work with her now. She's awesome. And then I outsourced my writing to a lady in the UK. And as long as you reference them in your book and on your cover, that you've actually used them, and you've got you need to get like a disclaimer from them, like a passing over of rights,
content release form.
Yeah, just to say like, I'm using this stuff, and if I make money from it, then you can't sue me, basically.
Yeah.
So we covered your back.
That's a really key thing for anybody that's watching this now, is to always get a content release form signed. I would even do that if you're planning to productize things like webinars and interviews like this. If I were going to productize this, I would want to reach out to everybody that I'm interviewing and get them to sign a content release form as well. And not many people are really thinking about that. Even when you get people who join your podcast on your show, it's really key to do that, not just for physical products. So just bear that in mind, guys and girls that are watching this now. So you've outsourced your writing, you've got illustrations done by freelancers.
Yes.
So in terms of like the setting of your books and things like that, did you do that yourself? Did you outsource that as well?
Yeah, so pretty much with the settings with my book, I'm not too bad at digitally designing stuff. So pretty much I got these back in PDF format and PNG format. So all different formats that are versatile on all different kind of like materials. So PNG is for screen, and then you've got JPEGs, which is obviously for more of a print or a lighter version. And I got the actual files from the person as well, so that I could take and use different characters. So like the fish and everything you see, I can actually use them and take them out and put them somewhere else, so that you're reusing the content and getting as much value out of it as possible to use, like your show now and stuff like that. But then pretty much what we did is once that came back, I used at the time, I think it was Canva. So I used Canva to lay out my book.
That's amazing. I mean, Canva is a free resource. So have you got the free version of that?
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you watching, literally, there is no, I mean, I'm a designer by trade. It's my background. So I don't use anything like this. I tend to design everything myself using Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop. But I love that what you're saying is so accessible to anybody who's wanting to do it. So you've used Canva to actually set. I didn't even know it had those settings to do something like that.
Yeah, you just need to speak to so you have to go one step further and speak to your printers who's printing it to ask what bleeds needed. So what kind of like bleeds needed. So if it's a 3mm bleed around the side, then you can add that in Canva. Then you can just drop
your pretty standard 3mm bleed on everything.
Yeah, and that's away you go. And then you can get people to send it off then in Upwork and get somebody just to proofread it, format it, and make sure. And the next stage now is the real struggle that I'm going to be struggling with is I think I asked you today actually, Sammy. It was how do I get these books now? Because we've got 10 in total. How do I get them up on Amazon?
Yeah,
that it's accessible, it's cheap, and I just want these to look, especially with COVID-19, parents are stuck for things to do at home. I just want this to land on the doorstep and say, look, get on with it, and there's an old platform online.
Yeah, brilliant. And of course, like with the Amazon KDP publishing, there are various different ways that you can work with Amazon. There are ways where you pay more and you're completely hands off. So you could give like 60% of the profit away to them, but then they manage the orders and everything. The only challenge with that is that you're not picking up any email addresses or contact details or anything if they go through Amazon, because of course then Amazon own that customer instead of you. So I always would suggest that if you are going to do anything with Amazon and let them deal with something hands off in that way, because obviously it's going to reach many more masses if you do it that way, and it's hands off. However, you would want to make sure that all the way through your book there are little things where, you know, go to your website address to go and get this extra resource, or, you know, go and get your pink duck here, or whatever, you know, a part of the story. It's like you want to make sure that you, if you are going to do it through Amazon, that goes for all of you watching this, that you feed things into it where you're driving them constantly back to your website to download extra resources and fun things that they can also do. That way, that's how you get Amazon's customers to become your customers.
Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah.
Simon says Upwork has people for Amazon uploads as well. I've actually used somebody. Actually, I think it was from Elance, but I think that's now Upwork anyway. Elance is, I think Upwork has replaced Elance about 4 or 5 years ago, hasn't it? Maybe even more. Time's flying so fast. So what I love about what you're talking about here, Kieran, is literally you've had the dream. You've seen the vision of what it is you've wanted. You've found experts who literally live, breathe, eat, and sleep doing that thing. You've managed to create this beautiful little like micro team that means that anytime you have an idea, you literally can go from idea to design to publish pretty fast now. Now that you've built that, so you really can build a dream with a team, huh?
Yeah, it can. It can. I'm finding over the past 10 years, while we've been stabilising and reinvesting back in the brand, it's been like less output for myself. Although it has created me time at home with the family and I can exit anytime. When I say exit, I probably step up a level and be more of the helicopter approach of hands-on off it, really, and just focus on my team. It's been reinvested back in to get to this point, and now it's got to the point where COVID-19 hit us. We've got 20 full-time staff, and pretty much we've had to rethink our strategy now. And all this stuff and content I've been sat on for 5 years, you'll probably start to see it. The Thunder Greatness stuff, the Thunder Story, it's all coming up online now. And I'm starting to, obviously, I seen you at the is it EMC the other week? I seen you there, and it just put the icing on the cake and come at a right time. I think the first case in the UK was in Brighton, and then it just like, I thought this is just meant to be. So I'm going to get all this stuff online and get it out there.
Yeah. And it's brilliant, and it's so timely. I think there are literally thousands, if not millions, of entrepreneurs who, I mean, I've been banging this drum for ages. You know, come on, get it online, get it online, get it online. And there's loads of people that have been taking their time to get it online, and you know, they've had their ideas and they've been kind of dipping their toe in the water. Who all of a sudden, just in the last 2 weeks, I have not stopped. It has just been constant support of our Brand Builders Club members. Right, are you ready to get this online now? Yeah, help. Like all this stuff, all of a sudden it became really important and urgent. And, you know, there's no better time to do it. I was chatting to a personal trainer today who reached out to me via Facebook. And he said, you know, I said to him, what are you doing? How are you going to pivot your business? Are you going to take your classes online? And he said, well, I don't have that yet. You know, I work for somebody else at this point. And I said, well, you know, is it a contract? And he said, yeah, they're going to either review and renew my contract in April, or they're not going to. And I said, well, I would take control of that right now. You know, you've got probably, because of COVID-19, and this window, like the world is watching. If you've got any kind of a children's business or health and fitness or food, nutrition type of business, anything like that right now, you've probably got yourself a window of between 2 and 6 weeks. You've got 2 and 6 weeks while the world is watching, while they're all at home, while no one's allowed to leave the house. You've got to create this and get it out now, because if you do it after 6 weeks, you're going to have missed the boat. And all those other people that have set up health and fitness and kids businesses, all those other people, they're going to be in the limelight then. And they're the ones going to get the visibility. You can't afford to wait a second on this. You know, there's no time like the present, and it just is music to my ears that you've got all of these products that you've been thinking about running for a while. It's like now's the time to get them out and get them serving. It's exciting times.
And that's the struggle, Sally. That's what I've been hustling with in the office, and is tweaking the funnel. So we've got our funnels in place now, the sales funnel, everything to access. So we're tweaking, tracking where our customers are coming down the funnel using heat maps. So just tweaking it, because technology there's there to be used, using Hotjar and all the technology out there. And pretty much now I'm ready to get attention and really bang that drum, Sally.
We want eyeballs. So tell us about your funnel, because you're working with a lot of. When we were chatting the other week, I think you said that you've got a list of like 30,000 parents and schools or something like that. So you haven't built that by accident. How have you built that, and over what period of time have you managed to grow that?
So it's been a slow burner, to be honest, Sally. So the customer list I've got is, I call them funder lovers. So it's parents and carers and educators and teachers that have either downloaded a free resource, freebies that we've been giving out there as lead magnets, and also actual customers that actually use us for childcare, because we obviously run childcare all year round. So my aim for the business was, well, I'm labour intensive on the front line with my educators going out delivering this childcare. How can I become profitable at the top? Right. And that was by monetising my list. Yeah. So that 30,000 of especially, that 30,000 of hardcore funder lovers. My aim is, right, well, you know what? I've given you all this free stuff now over the 10 years. Free. I've been feeding the fish. My fish are like this fat. Now I just want to take something back from them and say, look, I can make even more of a difference to your children and empower them if you just buy this monthly program for £4.97. Yeah. You can access it on demand, anywhere, anytime. It has our funder educators virtual support. It's Ofsted registered. It's officially recognised by the Queen. That kind of stuff, and really get it out there, and to say, you know what, that's my list. And I'm just running on the conversion now of the sale to say, can I get it out of my P-head, synthesised, so that you, the customer, understands it and just says, yeah, I want that. Where do I get it and how do I buy it?
Have you thought of setting up focus groups of any kind?
I've only got, Sally, a small beta group of 4 parents that we've been working with. I call me beta parents, who are like absolutely raving fans. Yeah. And we've actually turned them into affiliates. So we've got affiliates where they all get a link now. So it's like they tell parents, and then they'll actually earn family income.
I would roll that out. I would totally roll that out. I would definitely roll that out. And other people who are working with kids, I would certify them in this process and give them access to affiliate as well.
Yes, and that's what we're thinking of doing. But like I say, I mean, that's where we're up to. So I've got a beta group, and they've bought. So we did a seed launch to, I think it was 100 people off our list, rough the other day, and we had 35 people who's bought the online access now. So hopefully that's monthly reoccurring income, and then I want to get 5,000. Yeah, 5,000 parents. We've set a goal on the board. 5,000 enrolled customers. They all then join the back private Facebook group. They've got an online community that we've got online that they can comment and watch this content. That's dead easy to set up. Yeah, and we've got all the landing pages and funnels, but they just need tweaking like a guitar.
Yeah, and that's the things, and so you've got to split test these things. So are you using bot technology to communicate with all these parents, or like as in Facebook bots, or are you still using traditional forms like email marketing? I'm asking for everybody else, because obviously I'm not really dealing with parents, although you and I have had a conversation about how we can bring OneDrop to them. But, for the people that are out there that are thinking, how do I reach those people at home? What is the best way to reach a parent?
Yeah. So pretty much the way I've done it is through schools. So I've reached parents because we're in 100 schools. So we go into schools, the children remembers their physical experience they have with Thunder in schools. And then we send a leaflet home through their book bags, or we will be doing before COVID happened.
Yeah.
This online access is now available to continue child's learning and progress at home.
Brilliant.
But then to create, to gather all that information and data when it hits your landing page, you've got to have where people have the lead magnet on there to leave the name, email address for freebies, and then that collects in a CRM system that's central to your business. If you haven't got a CRM system, I believe your business is worth nothing.
Oh, totally. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Which one do you use? I like Infusionsoft.
So we looked at Infusionsoft for like years, and it was because I'm friendly and parent, it was a bit too techy.
Right.
Whereas I use Kajabi.
Okay. Yeah, I know lots of people that use Kajabi.
And it's just dead simple, dead easy to automate emails. And then you can chat to your list, you can email your list, you can run announcements, you can run your back-end products through it. So everything there is online, and you can get your message out to the world fast. So and I believe in just things, the 80-20 rule being 80%. I've sent stuff out there with spellings on, parents saying there's a spelling, all right, we'll change it. I just said, get it out, guys. So my team's at home now creating all this content through our design team. We use a virtual design team, and yeah, we're really ramping things up. And I just need eyeballs. I want to get on the news. I want JV partners. My cousin's a pro footballer. My friend's a pro footballer. I said, give me your list. Put me on your social media. But I've just wanted it to be right, not perfect, but right. So we've just been through a testing.
Over perfection.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's been such an honour to watch your journey, and I mean, you're flying now, and I think your question at the beginning really about the reason why, where's your heart in what you're doing? It makes such a difference, and I think the universe rewards that as well. It's almost like if you're doing something that's not on your path, if you're doing something that you're doing because of the money, it's almost like the universe or source, spirit, whatever, makes it hard for you. It should be something that's in flow, and you're obviously in complete flow because it's all starting to stack up. We've got some great comments here from Victoria and Simon. Hello. Victoria says, my PT does half-an-hour sessions via live stories every Thursday at a given time. You don't need much technology wise. I mean, yeah, look at Joe Wicks. He's got like 1 million people tuning in to his exercise routines. Why can't that be you? There's absolutely no difference between Joe Wicks and you watching this now. There's absolutely no difference other than he just has more eyeballs. He has more visibility than you. That's the only difference. He's built a personal brand. That's it. Simon says, sell your book on your site, not Amazon. Well, I think you're probably selling them on your site as well, aren't you?
Not yet, because it's fulfillment. I'm struggling. One of the people is like, we've got all our books in the office here, but for everyone bought, then you've got to have somebody admin package it, ship it out. And I'd sooner, if I could do like a one-drop ship like they have in America where they buy it and they ship it.
Sure, yeah.
It'd be brilliant.
Drop ship. Well, could you not do that? I set, oh gosh, I don't know, a printer that does it now. Maybe someone watching this call will. But I set the branding and website and everything up years ago for a company who sells online health and safety certificates, and they do a lot more now. But I connected them with a printer, and literally as soon as the order comes in, the printer just prints and runs. So it might be that you could do that so that you can still take control of it rather than Amazon kind of sucking up all your profit from it. And I mean, you might want to look at both options actually and have Amazon running it so you're building your list via Amazon, but then you're taking control of building your own list as well. Simon said that he has fulfillment contacts. I believe that I connected you and Simon together a few weeks ago anyway, so make sure you reconnect if you didn't manage to get that call in, because you two are definitely like, if you two together with all of Simon's corporate contacts and all of your school contacts, the two of you would be very powerful.
Yes, awesome. Good connections.
Yeah, very good.
The beauty about what we're doing as well, I know there's a lot of people stepping up now, doing this fitness, doing that. But I think with the educational content being taught in schools and relevant to the curriculum, I mean, some schools I've spoken to, they're getting bored of certain, sessions going on because it doesn't engage them throughout. So it's important to have that Ofsted registered educational quality learning that's linked to the curriculum and engaging and inspiring for all, rather than just a wonder. It's about beyond COVID-19. It's about creating a tribe or a niche, if you want to call it, of raving fans and a community. That's what I'm trying to do, Sally. So if you can help, or anybody out there,
Absolutely.
that'd be awesome.
Be delighted to in any way. I mean, this is the thing, One Drop is all about collaboration over competition. It's about supporting each other to create bigger ripples together than we can make on our own. And I think you're a big ripple maker, and there's enormous ripples that are just waiting to have that one drop, and then boom, off it goes, and there are people all over the world that can support with this, I'm sure. Now, Kieran, this is called Confessions of a Global Changemaker. So I want to dig a bit deeper into, I'm fascinated with how you've run your business. I think you've given some really great insight to those people who are thinking, how do I now productize and get my stuff out there? You've given some brilliant insights into that. What I'm really interested in now is a time where you haven't really talked about this too much before. So I want something really juicy, and I'm asking a lot here, but I want something really juicy that you've been through as a business, where if you ever had to go through that again, or if you ever saw someone else going through it, you would do it a totally different way. Like you'd never do it that way again. Can you think of a time?
Yes, give me 1 second. Let me just think. What I would do, pretty much when I started the business, I was probably too precious, and I probably didn't let go enough. So I was doing everything myself, which I guess every business person out there that's watching this who's starting up is probably, going through that. But the one thing that I'd really change again is employ my first member of staff quicker than I could put £10 in the bank. So if I didn't have the money, I'd employ that member. I know it sounds scary for people who's starting off, but it's that growth that you've got to put out there to get back what you want in. So I'd employ that first member of staff fast, even if you didn't have the money, because you need to get help. You need a team, because you can't do everything. We think we can. We think we can tackle COVID-19 on our own. We think we can, we can't. We need support. So employ your first member of staff fast, because I didn't. I was doing everything myself. And then as I started getting one, then I then got another member of staff, and then another member of staff. Then all of a sudden you have this big support network. You're employing a lot of people. Yes, you might not be profitable at that moment in time, but what you're building is an asset, a brand asset, that in the future, you're sitting on a brand and not just a one-man band. So it's about how can you get a team that shares your values, your culture, your mission, your statement about making a positive difference to children's lives every day, so that everybody eats and breathes it. So you're spreading the thunder virus rather than the COVID virus. And as you grow that team, you then can step out and develop resources and programs and ideas that you've got to then become more profitable. And that's what I wish I'd done sooner. So really employ a member of staff fast.
That's a really great one. We haven't had that one yet. All the others have been like, avoid doing that. But I think when you're building something, especially when you've got product and you're working on a human level, not just on an online level. And I'd say even if you're running an online business, you still need to build your dream with a team. As soon as you take that team on, it enables you to do the things that you couldn't do before. Victoria has asked a really good question. I'm going to stick it up on the screen now. How do you employ people when you don't have any sales yet?
So pretty much what we started off doing, that's a good question. So we started off subcontracting staff that attracted to our value. So we put the job post out there and we said, look, this is a 0-hour contract. However, if you put the work in and you can set goals to say, if we get to there, then you'll get paid X. If you get to there, you'll get paid X. So you can pay them hourly. So we started off subcontracting staff first, because then you're not as reliable on 0-hour contracts and you have more control over them, because if they don't turn up to work, they don't get the job. So I put people, and I still do today, on sometimes because it takes a year, right, to get to know people. I guess I've learned it takes 1 year to get to know somebody's true values and purpose, and to get to know how they work. So you could say to that person, I'm putting you on a 1 year's or a 0-hour contract. And when you prove to me that you're for my business, then I'm going to employ you full time. How does that sound?
Yeah.
So you can have a monthly rolling contract, and then you set them KPIs and targets to say pretty much, right, okay, if you sign up 5 schools this month, you do get your wage, but you also get a bonus. And then you just motivate them.
Yeah.
And then as they grow, they're working towards that employment contract. And then pretty much once they're on full time, they already know how you work. You've already got the induction process out the way, the teething problems. They know they've got to earn money to be in work, so they've got to sell more and do more of what they're doing. And then employ them when you've got good golden nuggets to add to your team, and then grow your team that way. So start off small. Start off small.
Brilliant advice. And how would you deal with them if they don't live up to the job?
So if they don't live up to the job, then pretty much you show them the door quicker than you open it. So if they don't deliver you value, because you're paying for a service, you're paying your employee to deliver you a service. That's what it is. They are part of your team. They are part of your family once they deserve it. Once they've done the washing up, once they've emptied the dishwasher, once they've done the vacuum of the front room, pretty much then they've shown you what their service is capable of. If they don't offer that service and they stop delivering you a service that you're putting £1 in and not getting £2 back, then there's a problem. So you're going to create friction long term down the line. So you've just got to sit down with them people, be honest is one of my policies, and just be honest and say, look, I don't think it's working. I really value you as a person. The door's always open. It's just not working. And that's the beauty with subcontracting people. You can have them in and out until you find the right person. And you know in your heart once you've got the right person, and then you pretty much lock them down and put your house on it to say, I'm going to employ you. Even if you haven't got the money, I will find the money. Because I think as a business person, or if you want to use the big word as entrepreneur, you want to call it that, it's about you haven't got the money, it's you haven't got the strategy. So you've just got to look at your strategy and your sales strategy to get that money, and then to employ somebody if it's part of your goals, Victoria.
That's the key thing, Victoria, is, as soon as you take on that first person, you get to a stage where, your time becomes more valuable than anything in the business. And if that person is managing all the admin stuff that you'd usually be dealing with, you can be selling, you could be doing more presentations, stage presentations, more live streams, webinars. You can be the front face of the business, getting all those eyeballs that put the food on the table, that pay for that team. So it really releases you. I remember very early on, well, I don't think it was early on. I was about 5 years into my business. And I think this was when it was when we had the agency. And I remember Dan Priestley from KPI. He I interviewed his dad last Friday, Andrew Priestley, if you saw that interview. And Andrew's brilliant. And anyway, I had this chat with Dan. And Dan said, and this was basically when my business partner left the business, and I went into a complete meltdown. I was like, fuck, I've now got to run this. We've built this global business. Now I've got to run this on my own. How am I going to do this? And we had 23 different outsourcers that I was pretty much managing myself anyway. So I just overthought it in my head. And actually I was doing most of it myself, managing those people. But where it came to what I needed as an internal team, Dan said to me, you'll have a really profitable business when it's just you. You'll have a profitable business, but you're going to run short of time. So you need to get that admin person in. The admin person is like the first person you want to get in. Get that admin person in, get them doing all that admin stuff. They're going to cost you money because they're not making money, and your business won't be as profitable because now you've got this other person whose mouth you've got to feed, but you're at least going to be able to make more sales. So actually you can generate more profit. And there's all kinds of other ways, increasing your prices, multiplying the amount of things you sell, for example. There's all other ways you can make more sales. But he said, when you get to the third person, because you're going to probably then bring on a salesperson that can help with selling the thing. So you're making it, someone else is selling it, someone else is doing the admin on it. He said, then you get to a really profitable team. He said, and you can still be profitable up to a team of 4, because then you'll probably have 2 salespeople, 1 business development person on the sales side of things, an admin, and then of course there's you. He said, as soon as you go above 4, then you're getting into admin again to deliver on the things that now the two salespeople are bringing in more work than one admin can handle. So then you need another one. So he said it tends to go up in fours. Now, I don't know if that's still true because I don't employ anybody in my business now, but I have seen a massive trend that you get to 4 and you've got a really profitable business. As soon as you go to 5, you're then starting to eat into your profit again, and you've got admin people who cost you. They don't make you money, but it's got to be delivered, right? So then you get to 8 people, you're profitable again, and it seems to go up, 4, 8, 12, and consistently up like that. So depending on how many there are in your team will depend on how profitable you are. And I don't suppose it matters what size of your business there is. You've always got to have admin that's delivering on it. You definitely don't want to be delivering the admin yourself. Yes, Andrew Priestley. I interviewed him on Friday, Victoria. You want to go back and look at his live that I did with him the other day. So yeah, it's about making sure you're profitable, but making sure that you are building your dream with a team. Kieran, what's next for you? Obviously, you're pivoting. You've got some stuff you're doing with your business. You're going to productize. What's your vision for Funder?
The next vision is obviously to get all the stuff online that I've spoken about. This Funder greatness. It's home education. It's physical activity and personal development platform for children online to empower kids to unlock their full potential. We're rolling that out. We're rolling that out now. So you'll see lots of Facebook ads and you'll see lots of stuff going on soon. Hopefully, we'll get your child into it. But pretty much, we are increasing our wraparound childcare in schools. So it's the service before school and after school, where they include food before and after. Because childcare, everybody always needs childcare. So we've got a really profitable model before and after school now, which is Funder wraparound childcare. So we signed up 50 schools with that model come September. And then we're opening up, once we get enough capital behind us where we can invest £50,000. When I say 50, it's just dead capital into a Funder Adventures. So it's a fully outdoor children's nursery. So we're opening up Funder Adventures, great childcare in the great outdoors, where we invest on school sites to open up a log cabin. And it's where children, preschool 2 to 7, attend all day, every day outside. We have toilet tents, we have sleeping tents. It's just immersing children in the great outdoors, which is developing those traditional skills that children are lacking today.
Amazing. Do you have a pen and like a notepad by your bed? Are you constantly does your brain ever stop?
That's a good question. I'm just like you, Sammy, I guess, and like anybody else watching this. But I think it's. I have like a journal, so I use the journal, the Best Self. Is it? I'm not selling anything here. It's the Best Self journal, so I journal a lot of things, and I also use Asana to park things. So or Monday.com or Asana, and I'll have my little garages. I call them garages. So. And I just focus on the one thing.
You should call them man caves.
Man cave, yeah. I just focus on the one thing. I get all my ideas down. I have a journal, and then the next day I focus. Right, what's the one thing from the One Thing book? I don't know if you've read it. It's great.
Yeah, I've got it. I haven't read it yet, but I've got it.
It's a great book. So I focus on the one thing today, but also Eat My Frog. Have you ever read a book called?
That was one of the first business books that I ever read. I love Eat That Frog.
It's in my language because I can understand it. So
it's a tiny book and it's so good.
It's lovely. So it's basically just separating all the stuff and turning off your emails, that distractions, turn off your voice calls, and just document and journal and park things, because you can always come back to it once it's in Asana up online and come back to it. But focus on the one thing, and it's the fastest way to the cash. Yes. I always say to my team, what is the fastest way to the cash? Because you can have all these great ideas, but what's going to bring money in at the end of this month? What's the fastest way to the cash? And I know it sounds greedy, but you've got to get that money in to sustain your message. If you want to make difference to children's lives and empower children, how can you do that when you're on the breadline? It's asking your team, what is the fastest way to the cash? And in your team meetings, or if you're alone, if you ask that in the morning, what's the fastest way to the cash? It's not doing 5 Facebook Live videos. It's not doing, all the other distracting stuff that are nice to do. It's probably the hardest thing to do. It's picking up the phone and ringing up my next school to say,
Yeah.
Can we have a meeting? Can we sign you up for the full year? And that kind of approach, rather than just delegating your tasks and productivity and getting that in order, I think.
And would you say, I mean, you've already mentioned throughout the beginning of this interview that, you have dyslexia and, you're very creative, obviously. Have you found it particularly challenging to focus on one thing? I tend to find that creative brains they just want to start lots of stuff, but not necessarily finish them.
Yeah, Sally, if you see my desktop, that's on my desktop right now. I mean, on my desk here and all the creativeness, I'm like that. And I'm very out there and very creative and bubbly. And I'm the big picture person.
Yeah.
But what I've learned very fast over the last 3 years is to probably get somebody, your number 2 in your business, so your second-hand man or lady who's such a controller. She's like your wife. Sorry if I offend anybody. I mean, me and my missus work really well because she controls me. She tells me what time this is on, so she controls me. When I go home, I'm big picture. I play with the kids, and she's the organizer. Yeah. So it works well to have that number 2 in your business to hold you accountable, a mentor as well. So a few online mentors that I have that hold you accountable to say, right, you said you were going to do that. Well, where is it and by what date? And it soon focuses your shift on from being in the creative mode to doing and get stuff done. And your number 2 brings the facts, the numbers. We have a finance guy. We have Phil, who's really like the controller. He's like the little pieces, and he'll spot like a little full stop if that's missing. So I just learned to listen to them, and it does frustrate me because
everybody needs a Phil.
They stress me out. They really pull me like this, and I'm like, oh my God, just leave me alone. I just want to do it.
I totally feel your pain. I'm a fellow creative, and it's a nightmare, but you need that person. You have to have that person, especially as you grow your business. You've got to have somebody who's checking the numbers, and you've got to have somebody who's checking the detail.
Yeah, that's important, especially at times like this where the COVID-19 as the strategy hit our business, because with childcare we can't run we're going to lose 195 grand in 6 weeks' time over these next 6 weeks. So it's a lot of money, and we've got to think, well, all right, if we haven't got the money, how do we come up with a strategy? So it's all this online now. So we're hammering this hard. You've got the grants from the government. It's not going to touch the surface. We've had to furlough staff off, which is against my values, but the government's paying 80% at the minute of their wages. But yet we've got 195 grand coming up to our peak time in summer when kids' activities are at the peak that we're probably never going to get back. But it's never been about the money for me, Sammy. It's always been about making a difference. So if I go back a couple of years, and why did I set this business up? It wasn't for the money anyway. Money comes and goes. It's just like paper. It comes and goes. It's about how many children can we empower, because that's the next generation, and how many people can we benefit using your brand. And if you have that message, like you said, the universe will bring the likes of you to the surface. People who's always been there, but it wasn't never the right time, Sammy. Now is the right time, and it's time to get our shit out there.
Let's get shizazzle done. Get it out there. Let the shit fly. I am so excited for you. I really am. I'm proud, and I do feel incredibly proud of you, even though I've had nothing to do with your journey at all. But we met each other so long ago that it's just been wonderful to see your journey, and I really do feel proud to have seen your progress, to have watched you grow, and to know you, and to be able to call you a friend. And I love what you're doing. I love the mission. I love the vision behind what you're doing. You've seriously picked a lane. And I think that's why you have been so successful in what you're doing. You haven't strayed. You've been very there's the vision, there's the mission, let's go. And that is also the fastest path to cash. And I know that when we say that, it can sound a bit kind of vulgar from a sales point of view. But as far as I'm concerned, if you weren't serving, then you wouldn't be selling. And the bigger you're serving, the bigger you're selling. So if you, and I tend to find that, especially with a team, if you talk about service and, there's like 1 million people we could be serving, it always seems too big. for that, you know, for a team to comprehend. Whereas if you focus them on numbers, okay, so this is what we're doing to keep stability in the company, to create job certainty, job security, here are the numbers that we need to focus on. They seem to find that easier somehow. I'm not entirely sure why, but internal teams seem to find that easier. But you've got to be serving, otherwise you wouldn't be selling. So so really get focused on that serving. You'll actually end up doing both.
I think another thing, Sammy, as well, is pretty much what I've learned to do as well, is because I'm a big creative thinker, is just get your strategy down on one page for your next 90 days, 2 years, and 3 years, and just have it all on one page.
Yeah.
So you can see everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
What are your short-term goals, mid-term goals, and your current monthly goals? And then if you've got it there in front of you on a page, you know that, hold on a minute, is what I'm doing right now getting me towards that?
Is it making the boat go faster?
Yeah, yeah. I hope it's helping, but I don't know. I'm probably talking.
No, it totally is. It totally is. Guys and girls, are you enjoying this? Because I think that this is a brilliant, I think this is actually our best session so far. It's been so informative and brilliant as a deep dive behind what you're doing. And I completely agree. When it comes to the goal side of things, it's making sure that you are dreaming as well as being realistic. I think, you know, as Andrew Priestley said to me when I pulled him in after my business partner left, you know, he said to me, Sammy, what do you want your business to be worth in the next 5 years? And then when I told him the figure, he said, add a zero. He said, if you, and I was like, what? And he said, well, you know, if you want your, I said 7 million. I just had this thought in my head, and he went, 7 million, you've already built a business worth more than 7 million, you've already done that. That's like an easy thing. In my previous business that we sold. And he said, well, you know, if you add a zero, so that's now 70 million. He said, if you were to be running a business worth 70 million, you would have to run it a very different way to the way you're running it now. And you would have to evolve as a person. Like, you would have to show up in the world in a very different way to the way you're showing up right now. Yes. And he said, and if you aim for 70 million, you're going to get your 7. He said, but if you aim for 7 million, you'll probably get 4 or 5. So always like dream much bigger and create your business and systemize it and automate it and create the funnels and set everything up as if it is going to be this enormous business. And then as it grows, you have an exponential business. You have a business that's not only ready for growth, but ready for exponential sales. And that's how I've built my businesses ever since. And that's really a key way to go. Victoria says she's very much enjoying this. Thank you both. Victoria and Simon, thank you for hanging out with us. And for those of you that are joining on the replay, do come and put a comment below. Let us know if you're enjoying it. If you've got any questions for Kieran at all, even after we finish going live, I'm sure if you tag him in, he'll be able to answer your questions for you. Kieran, we've come to the end of our time together, but I really do hope that we'll be able to interview you in, say, another 3 months and find out, what did Kieran do next? Like, what happened?
Oh, if I'm still here, my health is, fitness and health is my next. To focus on you as well, it's important to look after you, because you're the heartbeat behind all this, isn't it? It's you.
Absolutely. Yes,
I hope
we
you're
are.
well. I really appreciate my time, and I hope you're well. It's really lovely to see you, and my missus really likes her one drop. That's around the neck.
And I love the note that you gave to her as well. Kieran, when he saw me on stage in Brighton, I just happened to mention about the one drop. And when we were asked, or we were allowed to throw out to the audience for questions, Kieran asked about the one drop. And so I talked about the one drop and what it means and the story behind it. And so he bought a one drop at the event and then sent me this gorgeous note that he wrote to his other half to give her with the note. And I was on the train when you sent me that. My husband and I were on our way back from London. Yeah. And you sent me that. And I just, like, my face just went, ah! It was so sweet. I read the note and everyone on the train was like, oh my God. Because at that time, you know, everybody they were all on hype because her coronavirus had just been mentioned. And so they were all like, oh my God, what is wrong with this woman? And I was like, to Greg, I went, oh my God, it's so adorable. Look what Kieran's done.
Oh, no.
You're so soft.
Soppy guy. Yeah. Awesome, Sammy. Awesome.
Loved it, loved it, loved it. Well, good luck, Kieran. You know, I'm sending you and your family and your business all the love, luck, and light in the world, and well, in the universe. Let's go for the universe, because you deserve it. And I'm sure that we will all very much be following your journey from now on. How do people get in touch with you? What's the website address, or where do we go to find out more?
Yeah, so pretty much, if you want to check stuff out, it's just funderactive.com. So it's www. Yeah, funderactive.com.
On the screen like that? Oh,
yep, that's the one.
Okay, perfect. Oh, you've written yours a bit more funky than mine. I'll copy that. It looks better.
There's a big red banner at the top. If parents need activities or want to get involved on the Greatness platform, £4.97 a month. I'm not selling now. Well, I am, but
well, you should be.
At the top, always selling. We're always selling.
So can I, because I don't have any of my own children, but I've got nieces and nephews. So can I buy it for them?
Yeah, so you can purchase, you can cancel at any time, £4.97. I want them to come involved with the Greatness platform. There's so much curriculum on there, live educator support from myself and my team, growth mindset, mindfulness, health, nutrition, all that stuff to continue the learning while they're away from school.
Fabulous. Oh, well, I'm definitely going to be talking to my brothers about this and see if I can buy it from my nieces and nephews. So I'm grateful that you're not only giving parents an opportunity to invest in their kids' future, but also for us aunties who don't get a chance to see our nieces and nephews that much. And it'll be just a great honour and a pleasure to be able to invest in them in this way. Like, if I can do that for me, they're probably not going to see that as a great gift as a child, are they? They're going to be like, oh, Auntie Sammy bought me this thing so that I could learn from home. We all hate Auntie Sammy. But in the future, they'll be like, oh, they'll remember it with fond memories. I'm sure that it's so much fun when they get in there that they're going to be loving on us. Victoria says, what age of groups do you cater for?
So it's just ages, it's primary school ages, so it's infants and juniors. So it's early years reception class all the way up to year 6. So age 4 to 12 years is our age. And I've got an affiliate link for you to fill out, Sammy. So if you share this link with resources, you get 10% off every purchase, giving you something back as well. So it's a way parents can earn extra family income for the home, because it's tough times. So I've created that so they can do that.
Oh, you're a star. Well, let's talk about this. Tell me how, we'll have an offline chat about what you're doing and how you're doing it and how we can collaborate and how to build a brand, and all of our followers can support you with getting those eyeballs that you want.
Yes, thanks, Sammy. Good to see you. Thanks for the opportunity.
See you. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. And Victoria, yes, we are doing these sessions every day, Monday to Friday. We're live, same time, same place. And I'm bringing you all of the juicy, awesome people that I know on this planet that can make a difference to you and your business. So I'll see you live at 5 tomorrow. And we've got another amazing lady, actually also in the childcare industry, that I'll be talking to tomorrow live at 5. She's got a very interesting business. She delivers training as well to childcare providers. And so, let's keep all these conversations going, because as you're moving, when you're taking action, that's where all the traction is. So I'll do my very best to put the right people in front of you, but you've got to do the work. You've got to take the action, get to know these experts, and put it into practice. So Kieran, my love to you and all that are around you. To those of you that are watching now live or on the replay, I'm sending you big love. We'll see you again tomorrow. Kieran, thank you. Oh, just give us one more little, put your thing on your head. I've got to see that because I'm so in love with this character. I love the fact that you've had it made. It's just awesome. Right, okay. Just give us the thumbs up. That's right. So I can do a little screenshot of this. We've got a... Brilliant. Oh dear, Kieran, thank you from the bottom of my heart to yours. We cannot wait to see your journey. Take care, guys and girls. We'll see you again tomorrow. Mwah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.